And good evening, everybody, and welcome to our final race of the first half of the regular season. We're getting ready here for our Snickers Cup Series event, race number 13 of Season 6 of the Snickers Cup Series here tonight under the lights at Riki Raceway. Getting ready for what should be an exciting cap-off to our Susan G. Komen race weekend here with the Susan G. Komen 400 just about to be run, and the final opportunity for drivers to win a points-paying race and clinch themselves a spot into this season's All-Star Race weekend, which will be coming up once the checkered flag waves here tonight. On the pole for this evening's race, a driver who actually is really looking for a good run here tonight. He has been having such a dismal season for Tweenix Racing, and that is Dylan Poteet, 39th in the point standings. And just to kind of give you a little bit of an example how bad the season's been going, there are drivers such as Cody Lamas, Chris Washer, who came into the season mid-season, and they are running better than Dylan Poteet in the point standings. It's just been a really tough season so far for Poteet. He's been trying to find the right paint scheme that'll help get him to victory lane. He's driving the Wonder Bread paint scheme tonight. We'll see if that will be the winning chemistry to finally get him to victory lane. Alongside of him, Trent Dunham, who ended up coming away with a very good run of 10th place last night in the Mobile Cup Series event. He'll roll off from the outside of the front row here today. He's a former winner of the season at Dover, and he comes into this race 10th in the point standings, trying to keep himself inside the top 10 in points with a good run here tonight. Sean Galligan ended up finishing top 20 in the Mobile Cup Series event. I think he also finished fairly well in the Oreo Truck Series event, but Sean Galligan comes into this race currently 15th in the point standings. He is the second highest running Tweenix racing car in points, just a few points behind James McLeod, who is 14th in points, but Galligan going to be the highest, or the second highest running Tweenix car on the racetrack here tonight, starting right behind his Tweenix Racing teammate Dylan Poteet. This will roll off from third. Angel Navarro for Hendrick Motorsports going to line up in fourth position. Navarro comes into the race 42nd in points, obviously, because he came in mid-season, but looking to give Hendrick Motorsports their second win of the year. And lining up in the fifth position is going to be Kyle Sosnowski in the 22 in the Hertz paint scheme. Sosnowski comes into this race 25th in the current points. Well, here's the way that the point standings look like coming into today's race. Austin LaPlante, who took the points lead last week, he comes in with a 4-point advantage over Charles Jackson. It's 8 points back to Drew Austin, and then 11 points back to Ralph Mason. Richard Johnson in the 11 car will complete the top 5 in points. Rest of the top 10 that we'll be keeping an eye on during the course of this evening's event will be John Radigan, Dougie Shears, Anthony McCrory, William Duncan, and Trent Dunham. We'll also keep an eye on Danny Wells, who ended up coming away with a good finish in the Mobile Cup Series event, and also won last week in the Snickers Cup Series event at Nazareth. He's been able to move his way up to 12th in the point standings. He's got a lot of momentum on his side. We'll see what the 31 might be able to do here tonight. Time to get these cars rolling off, though. They'll complete a couple pace laps. While they do that, we will show you the starting lineup for this evening's event. As I said, this is the last opportunity for these drivers to get themselves a spot in the All-Star race, not including the Snickers shootout, where 2 drivers will transfer in that, as well as the fan vote winner. But these drivers would like to not have to rely on the fan vote. They'd love to be able to get in on their own merits, and then also if they get in the chase, the win they get tonight could play out big as far as those 5 bonus points. So let's head now, take a look at our starting lineup for tonight's Susan G. Komen 400. I said in the Mobile Land Truck Series events, you're getting quite a treat. 3 races in one day, an entire race weekend in one day, since I will not be around on Friday or Saturday and probably will not have time to record on Sunday. So want to get the All-Star Race weekend put together for next week. So we got to finish off the regular season's first half here this week. So we're going to get ready now for the running of tonight's race. 40 laps of racing. Dylan Poteet, Trent Dunham, green flag is out. We're underway here tonight at Riki Raceway. Dylan Poteet with the help of his teammate, Sean Galligan, rather. Two Tweenix Racing cars couldn't have been in better spots here for this qualifying. First and third place to be able to work together here from the drop of the green flag. Kyle Sosnowski, though, looks like he wants to break up that Tweenix Racing party, and I think Galligan realizes it, tries and throws the block, but he cannot do it. Here comes Sosnowski down to the bottom, looking for the lead. Got some drafting help there from Carson Gum, who had a nice top 10 run last week at Nazareth. Noah Hart right there as well, who I believe also finished top 10 last week. I think he finished in 10th place. And he's got his teammate actually helping him, Anthony McCrory down there. The two drivers out of Kyotech Racing. Ralph Mason's a ways back, though, trying to catch up here with his two teammates. Charles Jackson down there on that inside line as well, getting some help from Hayden Klein as he's behind the Jeffrey Buckeye machine. We'll be keeping an eye on all those drivers that I talked about inside the top 5 in the standings who could be battling for the points lead during the course of this evening. Who will be the points leader heading into All-Star Race Weekend? While Noah Hart's going to battle side by side now with his teammate Anthony McCrory for the lead. Let's try and see if we can find out where Austin LaPlante currently is. I'm not sure where he qualified. Well, that pretty much answered it. Running at the tail end of the field right now is Austin LaPlante. Running dead last, not too far ahead, is Ralph Mason. Comes in 4th in points. Danny Wells, who I was talking about with all of that momentum, he's currently back here as well. And I also saw Henry Nova, 13th in points back here too. So maybe some strategy. We'll see. But Austin LaPlante does not look like he's planning any types of moves to get to the front anytime soon right now, as he's running right now at the very tail end of the field. Meanwhile, back up at the front, Charles Jackson says, all right, Austin, you're not going to go for the lead. I'll go for it, and I'll try and take the points lead along with it as Charles Jackson moves to the top spot. Ooh, a little wiggly there, a little squirrely, but here comes Hayden Klein down to the bottom. Hayden Klein, a former winner of the season at Talladega, so this kind of a racetrack must be right up his alley. He's got the 16 of Alan Tanker right behind him, who's also got his teammate behind him in Dougie Shears. And there's John Cittadino in the 42, having a good run there. Cittadino's been trying to work his way back up through the standings. Our defending Snickers Cup Series champion really has been having a tough season, unlike his teammate Trent Dunham, but he had a good run last week at Nazareth, looking to get another good run here tonight at Riki Raceway. As here comes Dougie Shears. Not seeing teammates really working together a lot. We saw Anthony McCrory and Noah Hart battling each other. We saw Sean Galligan and Dylan Poteet battling each other. And now we got Dougie Shears and Alan Tanker out of Roush Fenway Racing battling each other. Not really a lot of teammates working together right now. As John Cittadino's going to go down to the bottom of the racetrack and look for the lead now. Help from Emilio Navarrete, also Michael Norman and Cole Daly down that inside line. Cittadino going to go to the top spot now. Emilio Navarrete, the new points leader of the Mobile One Cup Series after a nice run last night in the Mobile One Cup Series event. He'll look down to the bottom of the racetrack now, try and look for the lead. Got Michael Norman right behind him. Michael Norman, who won at Castle Gorge, trying to pick up his 2nd win of the season. And I'll tell you what, we've been talking about a lot of rookies and everything, but there's one rookie I think has been kind of like an unsung rookie. That's John Radigan. Man, he has been on a bit of a streak lately in that 14 car. And he's been having quite a rookie season. Currently 6th in the standings, 2nd in rookie points. I think he's a total of 11 points behind Drew Austin in the rookie standings. And John Radigan's just been doing an unbelievable job for that Stewart Haas Racing team. Can't really let another race go without saying that. As Cole Daly's going to go for the lead. Now, Cole Daly was up front quite a bit in the Nazareth race, up inside the top 10. Now he's running very well here tonight, battling for the lead with James Silverfox. Now, Silverfox ended up having a nice top 10 run, which was one of his few top 10 runs in the Truck Series event. Didn't have quite as much luck in the Mobile Cup Series as he was involved in an incident there, but running very well tonight in the 19. He ended up finishing top 10 last week at Nazareth, so a little bit of momentum maybe on the side of the driver of the Geek Squad Dodge out of Everham Motorsports. And there's some pit stops going on here on lap number 8. I just saw Stephen Pollard III and John Radigan diving for pit road. Sosnowski's coming, Navarro, Madison Sieber, Trent Dunham, and I believe that was the 15 of Austin LaPlante, the points leader. Yes, it was. He's on pit road too. There is Sosnowski. Trent Dunham right behind him. So we got some pit stops going on here. Green flag pit stops, and that broke the field up. 2-car breakaway now for Silver Fox and Cold Alley. Then it's a long ways back before you get to, I don't even know who it is in third, but Cold Alley's coming to pit road. Cold Alley, William Duncan appears like he's going to be coming down pit road now as well. Let's see who else is coming. Who is that? Oh, that's Adam Chambers. Jackson, his teammate, Richard Johnson. Citadino, Aaron Williams Jr., Alan Tanker, Emilio Navarrete, Noah Hart, Rohit Vidarvu, McCrory, Buckeye, Nova, Poteet, Lamas, Drew Austin, Tim Walsh on pit road, Chris Washer, Michaels, Danny Wells, Deanna Shelton, and James McLeod all making pit stops this time. And here comes the rest of the field. Silver Fox, Henley, Norman, Galligan, Carson Gum, also Dougie Shears there coming down. Hayden Klein, Dylan Young, Kevin White, Mary Cole, Jake Cole, and Ralph Mason. So now the question is, who's the lead cycle around to? Could it be Cold Alley? I think it could be. It'll either be Cold Alley or James Silver Fox, I would think, because those two had that huge breakaway from the rest of the field. However, John Radigan, Stephen Paul III, and William Duncan, who have now formed up, they're starting to run down the Cold Alley machine. I've said it before, this is a raceway, but it follows restrictor plate track rules, and there's Silver Fox just leaving pit road. I don't think he's going to get out ahead of Cold Alley. I think Dally is going to be the leader once these green flag pit stops cycle around here. Pit stops taking place between laps 8 and 10. And I don't think that's the last time we're going to see these drivers having to come down pit road, as William Duncan's going to go down to the inside line looking for the top spot. Duncan 9th in points. Former winner this season, won at Coca-Cola Speedway. As I look through here, I believe I might be right in this assumption. I believe that there are going to be 3 of the 4 Roush Fenway cars represented in the All-Star race already. William Duncan, Dougie Shears due to wins this season, and I think Emilio Navarrete had a win last season, so I think the 99 will be in the All-Star race. The only one missing is Alan Tanker. Looking through as far as the Hendrick Motorsports cars there, you see Cold Alley battling side by side with Stephen Pollard III for that position. Tim Walsh, I know he's going to be in. Aaron Williams Jr. is going to be in. And I think Cold Alley's going to be in. I'm not sure. His win may have come before the All-Star race of Season 5, though, so he may not be locked into the Snickers Cup Series All-Star race. And we know Angel Navarro is not in it because of him coming in mid-season, and he hasn't had a win since then. John Radigan, though, looking at the inside line here for the top spot off of William Duncan. Why don't we try and give you a full field rundown here after this cycle of green flag pit stops. Duncan currently is the leader, Radigan second, third Cold Alley, Stephen Pollard third in fourth, fifth is Silver Fox, Chambers is in sixth, seventh is Sosnowski, Madison Sieber is in eighth, ninth place is going to be Austin LaPlante, and Joshua Michaels completes the top 10. Then it's Henley in 11th, 12th place is Richard Johnson, 13th Danny Wells, 14th place Michael Norman, 15th John Citadino, 16th place is Aaron Williams Jr., and you can just see all these other drivers back here. Got Tanker, Washer, Dougie Shears, Navarro, Deanna Shelton, Carson Gum, Galligan, Noah Hart's back here, Charles Jackson, Dylan Young, Trent Dunham, another car back there I'm not saying, Jake Cole, and Emilio Navarrete. So this big pack of cars got some work to do if they're going to catch up to this other pack of cars. This is 6th position. Adam Chambers with Austin LaPlante. And how about Austin LaPlante? I guess he figured it was go time. The points leader now up here inside the top 10, but they're trying to run down this first pack of cars, this pack of 4, and they are doing it too. Chambers, Sosnowski, LaPlante, Michaels, Henley, Sieber, Richard Johnson in this pack along with Silver Fox. And they're going to catch this top 4 very quickly as Stephen Pollard III now goes to the lead there. Rookie in the 98 who had a great run last week at Nazareth as well. So we're starting to see now, and this happens a lot. You'll see drivers all of a sudden in all 3 series get these huge bursts of momentum. We talked about Austin LaPlante, how he's been on a bit of a momentum streak. Stephen Pollard III is another driver that's been on a bit of a momentum streak. So, you know, there are a lot of drivers that all of a sudden it just clicks with them and there's like nothing wrong they can do. And here comes William Duncan. He's trying to get a run, but he can't. He's got no drafting help right now. And there we go. What was once a 4-car pack has now become about a 12-car pack. Super Silver Fox is currently running in 11th place. So it's an 11-car pack. I was close. Got a lot of teams represented here, too. You got the Phil Parsons Racing out in front with the 98 of Stephen Pollard III. You got Roush Fenway represented here with William Duncan. Michael Waltrip Racing with Austin LaPlante. You got the Everham drivers there with Michaels and Silver Fox. You got Joe Gibbs Racing with Richard Johnson. Tweenix with Henley. Cole Daly representing Hendrick Motorsports. John Radigan for Stewart Haas Racing. And it looks like some more drivers coming down pit road. One of them I was just about to mention, Madison Sieber and Adam Chambers. They were running well there for RCR, but Sieber is coming down pit road now with Radigan and Sosnowski here on lap 17. Oh, doggone it. There we go. Trying to see who else is coming down here. There's Radigan. Dunham is coming down. Angel Navarro is on pit road. So some other drivers pitting here nearing the halfway point. William Duncan leads the way, but I think he's coming to pit road now. Here comes LaPlante, Richard Johnson, and Stephen Pollard III all peeling off onto pit road this time. That cycles the lead over, I believe, to Sean Henley. Nope. There's another car up ahead of him. Who is it? Oh, it's Joshua Michaels in the 10. Michaels in the 10 car, trying to get into the All-Star race. With a win here tonight. It would be the second win of the season for Everham Motorsports. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Third, actually. Barney Ward went to victory lane at Daytona. And then Drew Austin won earlier this season as well. Michaels now down on the apron. He'll come to pit road along with Chambers and Cole Daly and James Silverfox. His teammate Michaels! Well, I guess he's not going to pit road. He just got hooked around, and now he's trying to figure out what he's got to do. He's got to go back on the racetrack. He did not commit to pit road, which was fortunate. Otherwise, he'd be given a penalty. But Joshua Michaels now has to go back around another time, not up to full song, and that's a tough break for the 10 car. I don't know who it was that got into him. It might have been Adam Chambers. And it hooked him almost up back in front of traffic, but man, we avoided near disaster right there. Let's find Sean Henley, who did stay out. Oh, he's coming down pit road this time now. And I think the lead now cycles around. And maybe Dylan Young? No, I guess not. Dylan Young's trying to cycle around back onto the lead lap. Michael Norman, Jackson, Navarrete, Galligan, and Jake Cole all coming down pit road now. Mason, Kevin White. There's Mary Cole there in the Office Depot colors on her Tweenix Racing ride. Let's keep an eye on Sean Henley here. He was the last of the drivers who was out front to pit. There's Joshua Michaels. Finally makes it to pit road, but that's not going to help him at all. He could fall a lap down as a result of that because he lost a lot of ground having to slow up. And I think when we saw him turn towards pit road, I think he was trying to figure out if he had actually crossed the commitment line or not, and he was waiting for his spotter to tell him whether he had or not. Fortunately, he had not. He was able to cycle back around, and oh, Henley, I don't think you're going to come out as the leader, buddy. Now, there's a 4-car pack coming here, freight training around this racetrack. Duncan, Radigan, Madison Sieber, and Kyle Sosnowski. And they're going to just blow on by Henley. Chambers and Cole Daly, they're hooked up together there, trying to work together and catch back up to those front 4. Henley's going to come out all by himself, but he may have some drivers he can hook up with there, and Stephen Pollard III and Austin LaPlante. You know, it amazes me how these drivers work out this pit strategy to be able to be up where they are. And one of those drivers is Austin LaPlante, because we saw him at the beginning of this race running around in 42nd place, not even looking like he was trying to work his way up through the field. As soon as the green flag pit stop strike, though, there he is up inside the top 10, and he's been up there ever since. So you got to wonder what kind of strategy they were able to work out to do that, but absolutely amazing job there for the points leader in that 15 team, as William Duncan's going to lose the lead. Sosnowski's going to go around the high side, amazingly enough. And he's going to take the top spot now. William Duncan now going to slip underneath of Madison Sieber. Keep second place. Sieber back to third, and Cole Daly now in 4th place. We're past the halfway point, 18 laps to go, and we've yet to have a caution flag. So let's try and run through the field again here. Sosnowski leads, Duncan second, Madison Sieber third, Cole Daly 4th. John Radigan is in 5th. Henley now looking for 6th place. He'll take it from Stephen Pollard III, who falls back to 7th. 8th place is now going to be Austin LaPlante. And 9th place is going to be Adam Chambers. John Citadino is in 10th. Danny Wells 11th. Silver Fox in 12th. 13th, Michael Norman. 14th is Angel Navarro. As a matter of fact, this is back around 14th back to 20th. You got Dylan Young, Charles Jackson, Navarrete, Mason, Deanna Shelton, Galligan, Dunham, and Richard Johnson. And then you go further back here. There's a second pack of cars with Buckeye, Washer, Tanker, Noah Hart, Jake Cole, Dougie Shears, Kevin White. And then you got to go a little bit further back before you get to McLeod, Cody Lamas, Tim Walsh, Anthony McCurry, Mary Cole, Carson Gum, and Aaron Williams Jr. And there's Henry Novas battling side by side with Rohit Vidaravu. That's for 37th and 38th. Hayden Klein back in 39th. Dylan Poteet, the pole sitters, all the way back in 40th place. What's happened to him? 41st is Drew Austin, the rookie points leader, and 3rd in overall points. And 42nd is his teammate Joshua Michaels, who we know had that problem coming onto pit road. And Michaels better hurry, because I think he's got the field coming close to maybe catching him and putting him a lap down. Cole Daly now out in front. Right now, the only driver, looks like he's even having a good run for the Dodges, is James Silverfox. Vidaravu's all the way back in the mid-30s, and then 41st, 42nd, Drew Austin and Joshua Michaels. So the Dodges not faring well here tonight at all. And Dylan Poteet, I'm still puzzled what happened to that 78, because he's running all by himself. Hayden Klein's running all by himself. And we know Poteet started on the pole position, so I thought he'd be running up here pretty doggone well, but that's obviously not the case. And these drivers that are having hard luck, the bad thing for them is that we have not had any cautions come out. More pit stops. Heading again is John Radigan and Kyle Sosnowski. We won't even bother to look there as we'll watch this battle for the lead. Cole Daly, Madison Siebert, Chambers, Pollard, Henley, LaPlante, and Duncan. But with the caution not coming out, these pit stops continue to cycle around, and it's not giving these other drivers who are down outside the top 30 any opportunity to be able to bunch back up and try and pick up positions. The field's just all spread out, and whoa, almost some contact between Cole Daly and Madison Siebert. They keep it together, though, and Madison Siebert now dives for pit road. Stephen Paul in third. Austin LaPlante's coming down there as well. William Duncan, I think, also joined them on pit road. So now it's Cole Daly, Adam Chambers, and Sean Henley. You know, another interesting thing I was looking at, and I'll bring this up in the Snickers Cup Series All-Star race, is that out of the 5 seasons, 4 of the 5 Snickers Cup Series champs are actually going to be in the All-Star race. We're also waiting on word whether Trent Whitney is going to sign up for a ride. If he does, then all 5 of our Snickers Cup Series champs will be in the All-Star race for the Snickers Cup Series. Cole Daly now gives up the lead. He'll come down pit road. That turns it over to Sean Henley with Chambers right behind him. Those are 2 of the former champions I was talking about right there. Henley, the Season 4 champ, and Adam Chambers, the Season 2 champion. We also are going to have Dougie Shears, who won a race this season back at, I believe, was Altoona. He's going to be in the Snickers Cup Series All-Star race. He was the Season 1 champion. And then, of course, John Cittadino with wins from last season. He's our defending champ. So the only driver that we're missing out of that puzzle for all 5 of our Snickers Cup Series champs is Chambers. Now peels off on the pit road. Henley decides to stay out another lap. He'll take the 11 laps to go signal. But the only one we're missing is Trent Whitney, who was the Season 3 Snickers Cup Series champ. So if he does get a ride, then all 5 of our Snickers Cup Series champions will be representing their teams in the Snickers Cup Series All-Star race. Sean Henley right now looking very good. He's been up inside the lead pack ever since those green flag pit stops began in the National Guard Chevrolet. But he's going to be all by himself again this time around. I think he was one of the ones to stretch it on the last green flag pit stops as well. Yeah, there's Joshua Michaels. They're coming down the same lap again. Danny Wells, Michael Norman, Charles Jackson. All these guys coming down again. Last time they pitted, I think, was lap 23, 22, something like that. So I guess they were able to make it about maybe 10 laps on these tires. They're going to go with a 4-tire stop. This should make them good to go to the end, I would think. And let's see if Henley's going to actually get out ahead of everybody this time. Last time around, they freight trained the 25 off of pit road, so there was no way Henley was going to come out as the leader. Let's see what's going to happen this time. He had a pretty good gap between himself and everybody when he stayed out that extra lap this time. So maybe, just maybe, he'll get out as the race leader. Let's take a look there behind him. Nope, maybe not. Stephen Pollard III, Cold Alley, they got a lot of friends. Duncan, Chambers, Sieber, Radigan, Kyle Sosnowski, and Austin LaPlante. They're going to freight train the 25 of Henley again. Now, keep in mind, though, these drivers started making their pit stops somewhere around lap 28-29. We're seeing they're able to go about 10 laps before they have to come down pit road again. Now, Sean Henley came down pit road on lap 30. That means that he would be able to go 10 laps to lap 40 to end this race. These other drivers came down earlier than he did. Does that mean they're going to have to pit with about 2 to go, maybe even on the white flag lap? They might want to start saving some fuel here if that's going to be the case. They're pulling up right now behind Joshua Michaels, who is currently on the tail end lead lap, but if they get by him, he will go a lap down to the leaders. It looks like that's going to be the case. Joshua Michaels, a bad night, going to come even worse. He ended up getting spun while trying to come down pit road. Had to come back around, make his pit stop. Was able to manage to stay on the lead lap, even though he was been running dead last for a majority of the evening, and now he is going to fall a lap down to the leaders. Crossing the stripe, we're going to have a total of 8 to go here. And still, I don't know. I'm trying to listen into these spotters and these crew chiefs' radio communications for these leaders, and the 2 words I am not hearing are save fuel. Here comes Austin LaPlante down to the bottom. First time we're seeing him actually up here battling for the lead now. Beginning of the race, he was running at the tail end of the big pack. During the green flag pit stops, when he was up in this lead pack, he was running pretty much around the tail end of the lead pack. Now he's finally starting to get some courage to come up here and battle for the lead and maybe the win. LaPlante is the points leader, but he is winless this season in that 15 car. And there's another of the Everham Dodges having a dismal night. Drew Austin, the points leader in the rookie standings. That may not be the case after tonight. Looks like he's going to fall a lap down now to the leaders, as well as Duncan, Cold Alley, Chambers. They'll freight train him. So, no drivers have retired from this evening's race. We now have 2 drivers that are down a lap, which means 40 of our original 42 are still running and on the lead lap. Unbelievable. Definitely a far cry from our Truck Series and Mobile Cup Series races, where we had some pretty big wrecks with drivers having fuel problems. That's been something that's not happened tonight either. If drivers are running out of fuel, they've been able to come down pit road. We've not had any log jams or pile-ups. This has been a very good race, very competitive race, but it's all been under the green flag. And we're about 5 laps away from ending this race as well. Cole Daly back down to the bottom. He's had a strong Hendrick Chevrolet, and Sosnowski and Radigan are pitting again. Now the question remains, are these other drivers going to be able to make it? Now we're going to keep an eye on the 33 of Madison Siever, because she and Stephen Pollard III ended up pitting 1 lap after Sosnowski and Radigan. If they have to pit here, this may be coming down to who's going to be able to stretch it. Cole Daly, the leader. Sieber second. She's got her teammate right behind her, Adam Chambers. Sieber moving down to the inside. Now, is that the battle for the lead, or in fact that she's indicating she's coming to pit road? Gotta see here. Yes, she's coming to pit road. So is Duncan, and so is Stephen Pollard III. So now, the big question is, can any of these guys who decided to not quite come in just yet, are they going to be able to stretch it? I'm talking about Henley and Adam Chambers, namely, because those guys have decided to stay out a lap or 2 more than the rest of the field. 4 laps to go, 3 when they hit the stripe. I think Cole Daly's going to have to come down pit road if it's any indication of when he last pitted. Chambers, however, along with Sean Henley, Danny Wells, Michael Norman, those guys, will they be able to stretch it? There's Cole Daly. He's coming down the pit lane. Is Austin LaPlante coming? Yes, he is. These guys not going to be able to stretch it, and so now the pressure falls to the driver, the 29, with 3 laps to go. Will Chambers try and stretch it? Where is Henley? Henley's way back here somewhere. Here he is with Dylan Young, Silver Fox, Mason, Dougie Shears, Michael Norman. Now I think that the drivers that could stretch it are Henley, Norman, Shears, and Mason. They all end up coming down on the same lap. I don't know if Silver Fox came down the same lap or not. Let's see if, yep, Adam Chambers going to pit this time around. What about Henley? Is Henley going to stay out? Yes, he will. So will Michael Norman. Danny Wells will stay out. Oh, Mason decided to come down this time. So did Dougie Shears. They were on the same pit sequence as Sean Henley, so I am a little surprised that they decided to come down. Oh, Dylan Young. Didn't even think of Dylan Young. He's also on the same pit sequence as Sean Henley. And he is the leader. Here's Henley looking to the bottom. With 1.5 to go, who's going to have the fumes to win this evening's event? Dylan Young on the high side, Sean Henley down low. Will they stay out and try and stretch it? Yes, they will. No indication for pit road for either the Blue Deuce or the 25. White flag in the air. Dylan Young. Oh, look at Henley almost making contact with Drew Austin. He does make contact. They're bouncing off each other as he's going to use the 9 as a pick to get the inside of Dylan Young. He takes the lead, but Dylan Young is right there. These drivers are going to try and win this race or run out of fuel trying. Dylan Young. Meanwhile, battle for third between Michael Norman and Danny Wells, but they aren't going to be able to catch up. It's going to be Sean Henley, Dylan Young. Those two are going to battle it. They go to the inside of the lap car of Drew Austin. They've got some other cars up ahead. Will Dylan Young go to the inside? Here he comes, looking for the win. Henley throws the block. Sean Henley finally goes back to victory lane. The Season 4 champ gets it done tonight, stretches the fuel, and picks up the win this evening at Riki Raceway. Second win of the season for Tweenix Racing. Mary Cole won at Infineon. Henley tonight gets the win, and Sean Henley, who was not locked into the All-Star race, he is going to win here tonight and get himself a spot in the All-Star race with his first victory of Season 6. And it came down to the last few drops of fuel. Boy, those drivers that decided when those green flag pit stops began, all the way back at the beginning of this race, to stay out those extra few laps, it paid out big dividends for them. They're going to come away with great finishes, but Henley capitalizes and gets the win. And almost kind of what we saw happen in the Mobile Cup Series event, where the driver that was running in second, which at that time in the Mobile Cup Series was Eric Burton, used a lap car as a pick to go 3 wide with who was then the current leader. Henley doing that with Dylan Young tonight and being able to hold on for the victory. Let's take a look at our official top 10. These drivers that finished in the top 10 basically used that strategy to stretch it to the finish. Henley wins. Dylan Young only 8/100ths of a second away from winning. He's going to get second, though. Michael Norman going to get third. Danny Wells in fourth. How ironic right there. Our last two winners at Castle Gorge and Nazareth finishing third and fourth. Norman, our winner at Castle Gorge, and Nazareth winner Danny Wells. Emilio Navarrete, great run for him tonight in fifth. Jake Cole, good run in sixth. Seventh place is going to be Charles Jackson, who will take back the points lead after this evening's race. Austin LaPlante, I don't think was able to finish well enough to keep it. We'll find out in just a moment, though. Sean Galligan, great run for him in eighth. Ninth place was Adam Chambers, who just couldn't stretch it that extra lap. And Kyle Sosnowski, great run for him. He'll get 10th place. Austin LaPlante finished this evening's race in the 16th position, with Jackson finishing a total of 9 positions ahead of him. It is indeed confirmed. Charles Jackson takes the points lead back from Austin LaPlante, and Charles Jackson in the 20 will be the points leader heading into the All-Star Race weekend break. Wow, I'm out of breath. This race was absolutely incredible. It came down to fuel strategy, no doubt about it, and Sean Henley is going to be the one to stretch it far enough. He picks up his first win of the season here in Season 6. Definitely needed a run like this, too. 33rd in points he came into this evening's event. He was fourth highest in the points out of the 5 Tweenix Racing machines. Anyway, though, we are finished with the Riki Raceway weekend. It's time to now focus on the All-Star Race weekend with the running of the 3 open races as well as the 3 All-Star Race weekends. We'll also have the fan vote videos and all that other stuff coming out. Hope you'll tune in for that. Okay, folks, we'll see you for the All-Star Race weekend at M&M Super Speedway. Once again, congratulations to Sean Henley on his win. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed tonight's exciting event. Subscribe to become part of the crew today. Helps me out a lot. Here comes your official finisher results, overall point standings, and rookie points heading into next week's race. I believe John Radigan actually has taken the rookie points lead from Drew Austin as well. So Radigan now atop the rookie points. And that's it. See you guys next week. All-Star Race Weekend coming up next, as you've been watching production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.
Come on,